Hey guys, welcome back to the Project V-Ball podcast. My name is Akash Jain.
My name is Raymond Manangi.
I'm Gokul Narayan.
So today, guys, we have our part 2 of our mini series about where we do the biggest strength and weakness of each NBA team. Last video we did the Western Conference team. In this video we'll do the Eastern Conference team. So yeah. So when we're releasing these videos, I'm not 100% sure of the Western Conference team. That video will come first, but I don't know if this one's gonna come exactly after it. There might be a couple of videos in between, but that's just how our new phase of our channel is going. We're trying to do like 4 uploads every week, and just we're trying to mix up the content. So if we have series, we're trying to like split it up over time. So like I think at this moment we recorded the top 10 power forwards and centers like a month ago. Would you guys say that?
Yeah.
Almost a month. Yeah, but we haven't released them because we kind of took a break like for a couple weeks, and then now we're slowly getting back to the groove of things and recorded a lot of videos. So everything will slowly release. It's just wait on us. I know I think at the moment of this recording, we have the top 10 small forwards just released, and after that, we'll have a couple other videos on the power forwards released. Then the centers will release at the end. But if you guys want us to do more series type things, definitely comment below. And if you guys have any suggestions, maybe we can have you on the video if you want. If it's your suggestion, it's your choice to hop on. But with these series things, don't expect them to be concurrent. That's all I'm going to say, because we're trying to mix up the content that we put in this channel. So right now, today we have the Eastern Conference with their teams. Do you guys have anything before we just start into this list?
No.
No? Akash?
No, not really. Let's get started.
Okay, so why don't we just start on the list? So like I said in the previous episode, if you guys haven't watched that, you don't need to watch that one before you watch this one. This one pretty much will be the same format. It's basically us saying our biggest strength and weakness of each team. We're not going to debate here. We're just presenting it to you guys. We worked beforehand, planned out what we think about what we think the biggest strength and weakness is, and we're just going to explain our reasoning and why we think this is their strength and weakness, and all of us will go right after each other. So I'll say one team, Gokul says next, and Akash says afterwards, and then we'll just end the video after all of us talk about our thoughts of each of the strength and weakness. So why don't I just start? So we have the Milwaukee Bucks, first team that we're going to talk about. Their best strength, in my opinion, they have a lot of strength. They're like the best team in the league in the regular season for a reason. But I think it's their versatile defense. I think this regular season, their defense was incredible. It was the best in the league. And they had so many versatile players, and that just made it impossible to almost score on these guys. Every team that played against them, they averaged less than 100 points. So that proves a lot. But their weakness is inconsistent playmaking. When you have Giannis and Eric Bledsoe as your top playmakers, you kind of see where the playmaking here is kind of lacking a little bit. But they have a lot of shooting, and like, I guess they're not as big of they're not like the Clippers, because in the last video we said the Clippers playmaking, but they have all these difficult shot makers, while the Bucks have more shooters, and they have more of a flowing offense, and it just works. Even I would rather them have one more playmaker on the roster. I know they have George Hill, but like someone else who just specifically is all for playmaking, and I think that would fully make this roster unbeatable at that point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that notion.
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah.
All right. I'll move on to the next team, which is the Miami Heat. So let's get it going. So their strength is definitely their zone defense. I think, in my opinion, the Heat are the only team that stand a chance against the Bucks and Giannis. So their zone defense is unrivaled in the NBA. They have amazing ball movement with Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Duncan Robinson. But their weakness is their size. They're a little undersized. Their center, Bam Adebayo, is 6'9", but that actually works as an advantage to them because Bam Adebayo is extremely fast and agile and athletic. But I could see that being a problem against some certain teams. Or you guys?
Yeah, when their best defensive big man is 6'9", because their other big man is Kelly Olynyk and Myers Leonard. Those guys are more shooting offensive bigs. So that's why that's our reasoning why we said their size is the biggest problem, because they do have taller players on the roster. It's just that they're not defensive; they're more offensive. So that's where they might struggle on rebounding a little bit. Gokul, do you agree on
definitely.
that? Then their zone defense, it's just incredible. It's working on all the Eastern Conference teams. Only team that it hasn't worked properly on is the Lakers, but that's just because that team has two players that can break a zone. So it just doesn't work on them. But like any Eastern Conference team, I think they'll be kind of scared because their zone defense is executed perfectly because of the coaching of Eric Spoelstra. We'll move on to the next team. Go.
Next, we have the Raptors. They have a really good bench with Norman Powell, Fred VanVleet, but their weakness is their inconsistent play. I think they were second earlier, or they still are. Were they ever first this season in the standing?
No.
But sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But this season's definitely been a surprise for us all. Can you guys say that also? Like, have you guys?
Obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
They're my surprise team of the year. I really thought when Kawhi left, they were going to be like a 7 seed, but I'm completely surprised. They're the 2nd seed.
Yeah, them and the Thunder are my surprise teams.
Yeah, I just think like their offense with their bench is just surprising because they have like different rookies or different like players that teams rejected before, and they're working on the new system. I think Nick Nurse is emerging as one of the best coaches in the league. I think I would say. After this season, he's probably like a top 5 coach in the league right now. So, but inconsistent play. It's more. I know they're like the 2nd seed in the league, but like when we mean this is by like certain players. Like one game, Pascal Siakam will go off and Fred VanVleet will go off. But that same game, Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, and Kyle Lowry shoot like 30% from the field. I don't think we've seen a perfect game from them altogether. And in the NBA, we're not necessarily going to see that. But I think sometimes this can be their downfall when they have so many good players and some of them don't play well and others do. It could cause some problems for them in the playoffs. Of course, do you agree on that stance?
I definitely do.
Yeah. So now we're gonna move on to the Boston Celtics. Their best key is their ball movement, and their weakness is interior defense and rebounding. I think this is pretty obvious because Brad Stevens is more of that motion coach that has like. Everyone on the roster shares the ball. They have like 4 almost 20-point scorers on the team. They have Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, and Gordon Hayward. And to achieve that, you need like a lot of good ball movement. They share the ball. They have Daniel Theis, and they have a decent young bench that's coming up. Yeah, that's their strength. But their problem is their interior defense and rebounding. They have Enes Kanter, Daniel Theis, and Robert Williams. If you see there, defensive rebounding is a problem. Offensive rebounding is okay because Enes Kanter is actually pretty good at that. And the interior defense, none of those guys are really good at defending the paint. Right, guys?
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that. Enes Kanter isn't the best defensively, but sometimes he'll get the job done. But yeah, I do agree with you on that stance. Next, we'll move on to the Philadelphia 76ers. So I think their physical defense is a great strength to them. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, that because of like the roster that Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and Joel Embiid as a starting lineup. That's like very physical defense. It's gonna be very hard to score on them when they're all healthy. Goku, would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a big lineup. That's really good defense.
And now for their weakness, it's their lack of consistent shooting.
I think this is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
As we saw,
Just look.
This season, Joel Embiid was not shooting good at all. Like last season, he was actually shooting pretty decently for a center. I mean, for a center, he's shooting incredible in my opinion. But this season, he was not shooting good at all. And their other shooters are not too good as well. Al Horford, he's decent at times, but
Tobias Harris
I don't know about this. Tobias Harris is their only good shooters. But other than that, you already know how the story goes with Ben Simmons. I don't think we can explain that. But yeah.
Even then, even if Tobias Harris is like their best shooter, but this season is kind of like a down season for him. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So they have problems. Before the season started, they were my title favorite, but
what
title favorite?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I mean like not title favorite. My team that was gonna win the East.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't push it to title favorite.
Nah.
I thought
I think
they
it'll
would beat
take
the
a while
Bucks.
for a title.
Yeah, I feel like they need to revamp the roster.
Last year's roster was good with JJ Redick, They almost
Yeah,
they almost
JJ
made it
Redick,
onto the conference
they pretty
finals.
much lost like a lot of shooters.
Yeah,
JJ Redick was gone. They lost a couple other people.
Marco Bellinelli,
Yeah, Marco Bellinelli went
Or-
Silva.
Yeah, Bellinelli is an amazing shooter.
last year I really liked this roster. Like they were so close. It's just that one shot that yeah.
Yeah,
That's why they were
Watch
so
that shot
successful
live.
last year. Yeah, Rene was lucky enough to watch that shot live. Anyway, let's move on. Gokul, you want to talk about
Yeah.
the Pacers?
Yeah, so next we have the Pacers. They've done a good job holding off till Oladipo came back. They're currently fifth seed. I would say their strength is their ball movement, but weakness is spacing. I mean, like they do have some good bigs like Sabonis who can shoot from threes, but like overall their spacing isn't the best.
Yeah, more on the spacing. It's more the dynamic between Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis. Like, it's the problem is this season we all can really tell that those two playing together doesn't really work. Even though we all want it to work. Like on paper, it seems well it could work because Miles Turner can stretch out, Sabonis can stay in the paint, but it's just for the Pacers didn't work. And ball movement without Victor Oladipo, they didn't really have like a number one option, right? And they were all playing with each other well, and they were passing the ball, and everyone else was contributing.
Yeah.
Is it my turn now? Yeah. We have the Washington Wizards next. Biggest strength is their amazing offense. They've been an explosive offense. They've been dropping a lot of points, but their weakness is their non-existent defense.
That's
They
true.
they drop a lot of
The
points.
defense is the worst,
But
I think, right?
It's just incredibly trash. That's the only fair way to say it.
Yeah,
Akarsh, go on to your favorite team now.
yeah. So we got the Nets here. As we know, Kyrie and KD didn't play. Kyrie played for some of the games, but KD didn't play at all this season. So it was kind of hard to tell how they would all play together. I think they will play amazing once they get back. But I think their strength this season was their explosive and fast offense with the young players. They got Spencer Dinwiddie. They had to have Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. All these players, amazing players. They all move fast. They're great for this NBA, today's NBA. So yeah, amazing, fast, and young offense. Their weakness was their inconsistency, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, we all definitely agree with their inconsistent play. It's just like a lot of these lower teams, like lower seeded teams, you can see the reoccurring theme is here. They're not consistent enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Hawks.
So
Next-
moving on next to
Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks. They have a really good offense. Trae Young, John Collins, really good players, but their defense is like one of the worst in the NBA. So definitely something they can improve on.
Yeah. I don't think it's just they have amazing offense and non-existent defense, similar to the Wizards. But I think they have more potential for the future than the Wizards do. I don't know if they can really maintain that same offense. Next, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their best strength is their pick and roll offense because look at the big men on the roster: Larry Nance, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, Ante Zizic. Those are all different big men. They can do different job in the pick and roll. And they have two guards that can play make out of the pick and roll. No, actually, I would say they have a couple people that can use the pick and roll to their advantage. You have Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Jetty Osman, and Kevin Porter who can use the pick and roll to their advantage. They have a good roster. They just need to improve on it and make sure they get younger.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Let's move on to the Orlando Magic now. So the Orlando Magic have amazing defense, so that's their strength. Their defense is great. But their weakness, however, is their number one option scorer. As you can see, they don't really have a defined number one option scorer. Sometimes it's Aaron Gordon, sometimes it's someone else. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's between like Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier,
Vucevic.
Nikola Vucevic, even DJ Augustine sometimes is the number one option, or even Markelle Fultz. You just never know. They need someone who could just flat out score the ball.
Yeah. Moving on next, we have the New York Knicks. this was kind of a hard team to find a strength for. Like we've all seen their season, but we all agreed on that their pick and roll is one of the best, like for them, and their defense is definitely something they can improve on.
Yeah. So with the lower teams, it's hard to find a strength when they're all not that great. So that it's we're kind of like stretching here a little bit. Like the Knicks have a lot of power forwards and centers, so like they do rely on the pick and roll a lot to create shots for them, and that's how they create most of their points. And their defense is obviously garbage because look at the roster.
Yeah.
The next have the Charlotte Hornets. Their strength is shooting. This one's a bit more obvious because we see them. They have Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, Malik Monk, PJ Washington, and Miles Bridges. All great. All got good at shooting. And their problem is defense. With that roster, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't really have a good big man to protect the paint. And then their other four positions are not that great on defense. Akash.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you on that. Let's move on to the Pistons now. The Pistons are an amazing. They didn't play too good this season, but they were pretty good, and I really appreciated watching Derrick Rose play. Derrick Rose played really good for them this season, but I would say their strength is their consistent playmaking. I mean, they obviously have Derrick Rose. He's a great playmaker. He's good at passing. He can slash. He can drive to the rim. So he can always kick it out to a shooter in the corner or beyond the 3-point line. Their weakness, however, is their overall scoring. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing for the Pistons, it was kind of hard because, like, when you look at the roster, it's just like, I don't know. Like their best thing this season was Derrick Rose, and like Derrick Rose's playmaking improved this season, so that's why we were like, okay, their best thing was consistent playmaking and overall scoring. Like the roster is injured a lot, and also they don't have enough like scoring because of Blake Griffin being out, and then they traded Andre Drummond. Luke Kennard's been injured. Sekou Doumbouya, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's not polished enough yet. He has potential to be something, but he needs like 4 or 5 years in the league to finally come to his potential. But I think the Pistons have a good foundation to have a good chance to get a high overall pick. They should get someone like a number one option from that. And then they should build around that for the future. Try to trade a Blake, maybe trade Derrick Rose. I want Derrick Rose to win a championship to end his career. Just a tragic story of like the injury, and his career was going so high. I think like a championship will make his career will just add to his.
I think he's already a Hall of Fame player because he has won an MVP. So
he's a Hall of Fame player.
But the championship would
be
definitely,
or the cherry on top. Something like that to make just for all the Derrick Rose fans out there too.
Yeah.
To appreciate something.
Yeah, that championship has been the cherry on top. That was a good way to say it. Yeah.
And
go on with the
speaking of Derrick Rose, his old team, we have the Chicago Bulls. We all agree that their biggest strength is their solid offense. All of us here really enjoyed watching Zach LaVine play this season. I think each of us has said at least one time, like, we really like this improvement, and but their weakness was their defense again, like many of these other lower teams. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I really like Zach.
Yeah, a lot of these.
And I really like watching his explosive offense playing. What about you?
Yeah, a lot of these lower teams, their problem is their defense or like some lack of scoring or stuff like that. But like the Bulls, their coaching is just garbage. Someone please fire Jim Boylan.
Their offense is great.
Get out of here.
It's fun to watch.
Their offense is good because Zach LaVine's carrying it, but like they're not using Lauri Markkanen. If I think our tier list came out about where we put Lauri Markkanen like an average almost. So like that's a problem. Lauri Markkanen has potential to be one very good power forward. The Bulls just don't use him. Zach LaVine's been carrying the whole season. That's the only salvageable part about the Bulls season so far. Also, their drafted Kobe White, inconsistent, but he does drop he can drop like 30 points one game and then go to the next game's cold for like 8 to 9 points ish. But it's a good team. I think they're building for the future. I think Otto Porter might be a little bit of a problem because last year he was decent. This year, kind of declined a little bit. I think that's a bit because of injuries and stuff. So, guys, that's just gonna end it for our video here. If you have any video ideas, put in the comments. Or if you like them, we'll do them. Thank you for all the support we've been getting. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.